What's going on, Canes fans? Welcome to another Final Thoughts episode. Miami versus Louisville. I like to do these usually about 24 hours before kickoff, but it's an early game tomorrow. At least for Coop it is. Noon. Hey, that's when I usually roll out of bed. So, early game for sure. A game that I'm not scared of, but worried? Yeah, absolutely. This is one that many of us, if we're being honest, have had circled on the schedule going all the way back to the beginning of the year. This is a game that I actually predicted Miami to lose in my way too early season prediction. And then I also predicted Miami to lose it in my final official full season prediction. But since then, hey, hold up. Let's talk for a second before you start typing a comment. Since then, we've seen both of these teams play some football now. And I've changed my mind. And I picked Miami to win. I mean, in case you missed the preview video, because, well, most people did. 38-31. Now, there's actually several funny things about this score prediction, and none of them were done on purpose, even though you're probably not going to believe me. Number one, this score is flipped from what the final score was in 2023. And we all remember that Louisville beat Miami 38-31. I now flipped it and have Miami getting revenge with the exact score, just flipped the numbers, 38-31 this year. This is also a 7-point loss for Louisville. They have 2 losses on the season. Both of them were by 7 points. These numbers also add up to 69. So a lot of funny things with that score prediction. But as you can see, I have changed my mind when it comes to the week-to-week prediction. And I'm allowed to do that. It's why we do full season predictions and week-to-week predictions as we see teams take the field, play some football. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm still big time worried about this game. I think this is this is the toughest game remaining on the schedule. It's an away game. It's Miami's vulnerable secondary going up against an explosive Louisville offense. Now, this Cardinals team has not been scoring as much as they were early on in the season, but that's because the level of competition stepped up. So that makes a lot of sense. It's still overall an explosive offense. They have the Alabama transfer at wide receiver. They have a quarterback, Tyler Shuck, that's been playing college football for 7 years. This is absolutely a tough game, and Louisville has the tools to make this an upset. 100%. I will not sit down here and deny it. And look, Jeff Brom is an offensive mastermind. Maybe that's giving him a little too much credit, but he is an elite play caller. We got, what is it they always say? We got Brommed in 2023. We got out-coached. We got out-schemed. This is a guy that's great with adjustments. And again, I'm absolutely worried about this one. Yes, I am. It's one where there is still a chance Miami loses this. And people don't like the negativity when Miami is 6-0, but I try to be objective. I try to be honest and real. But I will come out and say this. I do firmly believe that Miami ends up winning it, but I think it's close. Or, and I'm not allowed to ride the fence, so I'm sticking with my score prediction. Or, I think Miami comes out ready to play and just blows Louisville out of the water. I'm talking like a Florida type of game. Literally look at what happened in the Florida game and apply that to Louisville. So like 38-13 or 41-17 again, like something like that. Like Miami just handles business. There's no doubt, because this Louisville team is not perfect. They have some issues. They lost to Notre Dame. They lost to SMU. They had to come back and barely beat Virginia by 4. So they have some things going on that's not so good for them also. But they have a great third down defense. Miami is number 1 in the country in third down conversions, so that's going to be fun to watch. They do have a young running back, Isaac Brown, who's out of the state of Florida, who has rushed for over 100 yards 3 times this season. Back-to-back games, he rushed for over 100 in the last 2. We already talked about their receiver. They're a transfer portal loaded team. What is kind of funny here with this game, this doesn't affect the outcome of a game, but they announced just a few hours before I filmed this video that they are going for a blackout in a noon game. Miami announced yesterday that we're doing the Stormtroopers, so we're going whiteout. So it's the blackout versus the whiteout at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium, which is going to be wild to see. I don't think it's supposed to be that warm of a day, but I do think it's supposed to be at least in the 70s, maybe low 80s. I'd have to double check the weather report here, but I know a lot of Miami fans were clowning Louisville on social media because they're saying a blackout for a noon game. Like, make that make sense. But again, Miami is everybody's Super Bowl. Come on, let's be real. So they want to get that win. It's the 6th ranked team in the country, undefeated. A lot of people are disrespecting Louisville now, and even Louisville fans themselves, a lot of them, the hype is gone. They've given up on the season, and realistically, it's one ACC loss. The other loss was to Notre Dame. So it's been interesting. The interactions with Louisville fans, they've not been that hype. They've not been that excited going into this game. So that's been kind of weird. Hype overall this week has been low. It's been low, but I think it's because Miami's coming off a bye week. People got to get back in the groove, of things. But yeah, I am worried. I am worried about this game. I don't know what else to say. It's a great matchup overall for Miami. I really want to watch the trenches. I want to watch our O-line versus their D-line, vice versa. They have a lot of skill position guys that are really good football players. They have a tight end who hasn't dropped a catchable ball yet this season. I think his last name is Johnson. But did that players only meeting kind of boost this team? Restrepo said, "Hey, this team is not happy, not content with 6-0. We're hungry. We want more." And I hope that they come out fired up in this Louisville game, because if there was gonna be a letdown game, it's going to be this one. Let's be honest, it's going to be this one, because Florida State is down and down bad. They've only won one football game. They're probably losing to Duke tonight. We play them at Hard Rock. We play Duke at Hard Rock. Georgia Tech has been hit or miss. Not trying to get ahead of myself. Wake is doo-doo. Little concerned about Syracuse. This is the biggest game left on the schedule. Probably. Again, outside of maybe if you want to squeeze Syracuse in there, depending on what they do. But I'm just mostly concerned our guys can hang on the football field. I don't think anybody is really worried about that, but I do not want to see Miami dig themselves in a hole in this game and have to fight and claw our way back like we did against Cal, down 25, and we were down for a lot of the game against Virginia Tech by 10. The reason being is because Louisville, again, can strike quickly. They do have some playmakers. They do have an explosive offense. So they have the firepower to extend a lead if they get ahead. So, like, if Louisville jumps ahead, let's say just disaster scenario for Miami, Louisville gets ahead 17. We know Miami can put up points and they can do it quickly, but you need a lot of things to go your way. And then you also have to continuously get stops, force 3-and-outs, force Louisville to punt the ball or get some turnovers. And I would be way more concerned about Miami being able to actually come back, because Louisville would keep firing. Braun would probably keep his foot on the gas. I don't think he would go the Cal route and all of a sudden get conservative, which ended up kind of costing them. He's going to take some chances. I'm telling you, keep an eye on that play action. Tyler Shuck's completion percentage goes through the roof when running play action. He's going to be looking for Brooks, the Alabama transfer receiver. They're going to run Isaac Brown quite a bit. They have some dogs on that team, and that I'm telling you, the 2 losses, do not let that deceive you. Don't let that lull you into this false sense of confidence and believe that it's just already game over. But with that being said, I still firmly believe that Miami should be able to take care of business. Cam Ward does not want to lose. None of those guys want to lose. And with Jalen Rivers being back in the game, if he does in fact play, I'm a fan of Markel Bell. The dude's 6'9". He's a giant out there. But he's had a lot of penalties. He's made some mistakes, and he needs a little bit more time. But he kind of got thrust in there, and he's done well. Overall, he's done well. But I would love to have a veteran guy like Jalen Rivers back in there. So hopefully Mario Cristobal's not just gassing us up, and he does actually play in this game, because he's needed. He's definitely needed. So I still got the Canes on top, man. I wanted to come on here and express my concerns and be open and honest about it. Miami's favored by 4.5, so they think it's close. The over-under's over 60, so it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I am worried. I am. That bye week, man. That freaking bye week. I'm not a superstitious guy, but it has nothing to do with being superstitious. The team has just not been mentally prepared coming off of bye weeks in a long time. And they still ain't won one under Mario Cristobal yet. So if we truly want to see that this team has changed, this team has turned a corner, they definitely need to win a game coming off of a bye week. That's a good step in the right direction, and that proves a point. This is one of the toughest games left on the schedule, if not the toughest, and it's coming off of a bye week where the team has not won a game off a bye week under Mario Cristobal. You want to prove to the fans that you're serious about winning this season and going beyond the regular season, not going to the Dookie Bowl? You win this game, and you get a convincing win, because fans all around the country believe it's going to be close, myself included. The battle of the 2 high-powered offenses will come out and win by 2 or 3 scores. Come out and break that bye week curse. Win at their house, doing a blackout. Show them Miami's the real deal in 2024.